speed bump begins. We have 3 racers here. I'm gonna try and get their screens a little bit better, but that looks pretty good. Not too bad. Close some of this stuff and we'll do that. Yep, just flying solo tonight. You know, for a thing we do every week, that's really not been happening too much. We've been pretty consistent, so I'm happy for that. Can't hit them all though. I have a frustration with OBS and its desire to snap. I need to turn that down. That setting. It always does it to me. Okay, I think I'm good. This looks about right. Going to grab audio from Moonberry because they're the current world record holder. As far as I know, they do have the world record in this game now. That record, I have it here on the other screen here. Let me see. 25:17. They have knocked 5 minutes off that thing already. I'm going to give them the start signal. Let's do it. We will be grabbing that audio. Three, 2, 1, go. My Discord bot is such a jerk. If anyone knows anything about Discord bots and feels like looking at it for me, we have one, but it needs some adjustment. It needs to crash less. That's a big one. It needs to crash less often. That's the big part of it, but it mostly works other than that. I'm not sure why it crashes, honestly. It runs off an Nginx. So this is Breakout on the Genesis. And Moonberry, world record holder, is already flying forward. You can see the strat here. It's that you separate the pads real far. You can drag the top one up and move it independently. They still share horizontal speed. But wow, that's a boss getting clobbered. You can flip the top one left and right, and you can move it up and down. The bottom one is just a guard. The top one does have a chance to get turned off and stuff by debuffs. Yeah, I don't know if that tube is faster or not. I'm sure that Moonberry was part of the discussion about that tube that was back a little ways. Didn't use it. I noticed that too. Did not use the tube. Just went straight up. I don't know that it was... It's kind of a pain to get in there, I guess, is one of the problems probably with that tube. You have to angle to the right. But like, yeah. That's stage 1 already, by the way. You can change the paddle speed. That's why it says Mach 2 in the bottom right. You can change it to 1 and 3 if you want. If you wanted to move left and right faster, that's all it does. Just left and right faster. Doesn't really, you know, you get used to whatever speed you want. I don't really feel like that's a setting that people care about too much. The trick here is to grab the red power up to get that dragon, which is the standard Breakout flutter. It just goes through all the tiles. It didn't work out very well though, I don't think. It was supposed to go all the way to the right, but it didn't get through. This is the wonkiest part of the run, and it's always tough to get this game to cooperate. Going left and right doesn't work at all. It's a little strange that it doesn't, because you would think that it would. I do know that there's a trick with these frogs, and any other thing that eats the ball for a second. If you hold the D-pad on them, it will spit the ball out the way you want. Ultimately, that means you don't have to deal with those jerks eating your ball for way too long. Because of that, you can control it a little bit. The hitboxes are atrocious when the paddles flip sideways. It's not so bad when it's normal. I'm not sure about the clock. I'm interested to see this. I haven't actually watched the run. I'm interested to see if there's any strat to the clock. I think you get bonus points here a lot, and probably the strat is just to get extra lives, just because this game is pretty rough, and you don't want to get wiped out. You don't get any continues, so that might be the only value here at all, is just point value. A chance for 1-ups, maybe. I don't think that this is being sped up at all. We'll be able to confirm that when the other players get here, but I feel like that was regular speed. I'm not sure what the other two players' experience levels are with this. I don't believe that they're practiced at running this game. Minutes. So this game has, we were talking about it last week when we were deciding the rules. It has a lot going on with the ability to play individual stages and deal with that clock in the top right on each stage. You can, without making a stage, you can just go on all these stages. They're all the same because you don't get any power-ups permanently or anything. It's just breakout. So get some practice in. And it's really not that long of a run also, because the minimum time that you get, that is to say the longest time that you could get, is that failure clock. You can't be longer than that, because there's no continues, you can't, so that's it. And ultimately that adds up to less than an hour. This is a very short game in terms of that, so not too bad to speedrun really, except for how troublesome it can be to play. This stage that Moonberry's on is a nightmare, and they're doing so well handling the ball here. Already at the boss. Which, by the way, is the worst boss. Absolutely. This treant thing is troublesome. I want to see how this is done. You can lose a lot of time here. So the boss has spawned minions that need to be slain. They don't have to be, but if you don't get rid of them, it's just going to add even more time to this. Oh my. Absolutely blew him up there. Jeez. That's good work. The boss is nearly defeated already. That was excellent. Here comes the treant. Back to the boss. It's nearly dead. It just takes so many hits. One more pass, probably. Extreme's doing really well too. They're already on the same stage. So everyone's here. Not too bad at all. Moonberry's moving on to stage 4. I expect we're gonna see how annoying this boss will be when the two players on the left get there, because this, I feel like authorblues timed out on this boss. Which, you know, it's not even close for Moonberry. They're already out of the stage. They've exited. You do have to do a whole little exit thing. You have to get into the hole there and escape the stage after you beat the boss. You're not done when you beat the boss. Dirk's fighting the boss. I like the zipper transition. Okay, this fourth stage is also pretty nasty. They're all pretty nasty, honestly. I don't think any of them are really friendly. There's a cannon you can use in this stage. There's more than one, really. I'm sure one of them is better than the other, though. They skip over each other. I don't know what kind of tricks and tech are in this yet. There's been some discussion about it. I think a big part of this has been learning how to control the physics on the ball. It looks like that's been done pretty well. It's not perfect I don't know that it can be perfect. It's pretty well controlled though, for sure. Like it's going where the player wants it to, and that's just, that's such a tall order. Honestly, this is so big. I don't feel like the old world record had it down that well. It was just not happening. It just wouldn't cooperate. There's got to be a way to handle this. Moonberry's doing it. More or less, they're getting it where they want it to go. That was a really good cannon. They want the fire flower here. I don't think it loaded though. I don't know why it didn't. Here's the boss of this. Now they're gonna have a lot of fire dragon powers here, and that is gonna speed this up substantially, I think. It looks like they're going for a regular clear though. Maybe there's a reason why. Maybe they're going after the easy ones this way. Is this faster? That surprises me if that's true. Took a death. The other two players are still on the treant boss, by the way. I can't imagine this is faster. How could it be than the fire? Is there a reason why they don't use the fire dragon here? I mean, Moonberry knows what they're doing way better than I do. It looks like they wanted to clear part of it with the regular bounce before they did this. Maybe to get some safety on it, some control. Because you can't really control this dragon too well. We are in a race, so maybe they're going for safety strats here and not using the dragon too much, because those last two, probably not too easy to get. Probably doesn't want the dragon anymore. Nice. I think that's it. Dragon apparently has some issues. I'm wiped. I'm absolutely wiped out. Glad I'm not competing. I was thinking about it, but I just don't have it in me right now. I'm crashing. We are on stage 5. I believe there's 7. I think there's 7. There's this one, and I think Volcano's next, and then the final stage, I believe. Time for the sea, where it's just hard to see anything because why not? We'll just have this gross effect over top of the whole screen. Ah, beautiful noise. I don't recognize that power-up. I think I read that in the manual, the screen zapper. That's probably not intentional. Probably did not want that. That just seems like a waste of times. Extremes are still dealing with this boss, though they do almost have it. This is about how long this boss takes for real. Extreme Joe's got it, and probably very happy to see that stupid treant is blowing up. They can finally get to stage 4 here. Now, I mean, if they timed out right now, they'd have to redo the whole game. Not even the whole stage, the whole game, if they time out on the way to the exit after killing the boss. It's still running. There's some cannons on the left there. I wonder how you even get to those. And if they're worthwhile in any way. Looks like they're not being employed. Defeat the boss on the beach. I don't remember this boss. What the heck are those? I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this at all. This is like Cyclone boss. I must not have had much trouble with him because I just don't remember this. I remember every other boss but this one. They're gonna flush it. We're seeing Dirk at the tile boss. But they're trying to use the dragon from the start. These Twister boys, they seem like they don't die very quickly. But they don't seem like they do much either. I mean, there's not really a whole lot going on here. They cannot really kill you. I think the worst they could do if you got hit by those projectiles is lose your top paddle. I think that's it. I think that's the worst they could do. And that, of course, makes it pretty tough to kill them for a little while, but I mean, you're not in danger, really, at that point. This is really slow breakout. Yeah, they can waste your time, which they are doing. Their being here is that. I mean, they seem like they're good at it. Oh man, Extreme Zero hit the game over. I didn't see what got them, but they're gonna be heading back to the start. Dirk too. Oh man, did they die the boss? The flamethrower boss? You could, absolutely could. Moonbear's got that boss down. We're back in the ocean for the escape. Those bosses summon the beach. That's their power. That's what they did. I really like stage 1. I wish more of the game was like this. It gets a lot of hand. It really does. It goes overboard as hard as it could on the end of this game. It looks good though. It looks like one of those Genesis pinball tables. It's got that style to it. I like that style. It's metal as hell. It's really cool. Art, the art is great. If nothing else, you'll love the art in this game. The green power-up is definitely the thing that's zapping the screen, right? That is the big time waster thing for a speed run. It's just a screen wipe and it takes forever to do it, so not good. Don't think those are being picked up intentionally. There's a roulette kind of pickup when you probably want the red most of the time. The roulette kind of spins the colors, so I guess the main thing is to avoid the green. If that shows up. And of course, there are some other hazards. The red X's there disable your front pad. That's what those do. You're gonna see a lot of them in this level, I think. Oh, so it's a bad screen wipe. It's a screen wipe, but it's using like a store brand paper towel, not like Bounty or something, right? Is that accurate? It's not absorbing all the blocks that it tries to. There's a lot of stuff in this stage that eats your ball and just waste your time. Those things, that's all they do. They don't kill you, they just sit on your ball and waste your time now. I mean, part of the hazard of this game normally is the clock, so in that sense they are dangerous, but they're really not too bad. They're just annoying. They just feel gross. Boss. I think I remember this one. You gotta juggle. Oh, lost all of them. Kind of a non-issue boss. Yeah, I don't know exactly what was going on there, but that boss isn't too bad anyway. That's stage 6. I think the last stage is coming up. Cool. Watching Dirk be in the same place as Extreme Zero and about 30 seconds faster. Getting really good at running stage 1 and 2 here. I don't know that I would say the game gets mean at stage 3, but it does start using horizontal, which is the worst part of the game. And then there's that treant boss that takes way too long after that. Stage 4 is where I would say it actually does get mean. You're very likely to get killed on it. By that time, you probably are running low on lives if you're not too experienced with the game. And oh, there goes the dragon. Dang, that sucks. I thought that was gonna be big. That dragon was about to eat this whole thing up. Super obnoxious. Oh, they didn't help him out. They just threw it the wrong way. Ah, this sucks. So you do have some minor level of control here. They're trying to get it to go left. They finally got it. And just want to make sure that that doesn't go the wrong way again. I don't feel like there's really that much game left. I'm curious to see where the 5 minutes comes from that Moonberry had. Unless they're on world record pace right now. Which, you know, they very well could be. Only been working on this game for a week, under a week. And though they did have a world record to watch to see how it was done, I don't feel like it was... I feel like they've already optimized the game more. I mean, there was room to improve on it. That's why we picked it. I need to go right here, I think. Kind of hard to tell. I guess there is a red arrow. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. I'm just looking at the terrain. The red arrow was on top of that block and I didn't even see it. It was a little busy. Into the tube. There's a cannon there, but it looks like they'd go to the same place as the tube. Boss. Is it the final boss? I think it is, but I'm just seeing the clock and I'm like, are they here at 20 minutes? What is this boss, a long fight? I don't remember it being that long. I feel like it is the final boss, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember too well. I haven't watched the run recently. You get that heart. Get in there and clonk it. Attacked with orbs. It's really hard to get in there, huh? The plot of this is that a wizard has changed the prince and princess into the paddles, and they're using an orb that they found to attack. So, you know, these orbs represent some kind of superpower object, and so, you know, they're not necessarily good objects just because you have one. So I think these are weapons that he's throwing at you. That being said, weapons in this game don't really do much. The worst they can do is stun your top paddle most of the time. That's pretty much it, right? I don't feel like they do anything else ever. So you don't even need to dodge them with the bottom paddle. The bottom paddle, the princess, she's immune to damage. I'm pretty confident in that. I don't feel like there's anything that messes up the bottom paddle, but I might be wrong. We got a pink heart over here. This wouldn't be the first time we've seen a world record set on a race here in Speed Bump. And we've only been running for a couple months. It might happen here. They're just 22 minutes here, 23 minutes, and that boss is down. What's left? They have to escape, I'm sure, but is there anything else after that? Maybe they don't have to escape. Maybe that's it. Looks like they have to escape. They're holding up right now on their macro for the screen. I see it. So they do need to escape. Stage is not done yet. Stage is done now. That was pretty easy escape. That was the easiest of all of them. Just straight north. 24 minutes almost? What's next? Is there more? Or do we actually set a record? We did. There it is. I mean, that's, as far as I know, a massive improvement to the record that was set a couple days ago, which was way better than what the record was a week ago, which was the standing record for a long time. I'm pretty sure that they just beat their PB here. Again, this is the second time that's happened, except this time, it's not just a couple seconds. It looks like a minute and a half has been saved, or more. We're looking at 23 and some change. Not change, it's 51 seconds. 23:51 is what Moonberry's time is. I'm gonna go until the other players get somewhere where they're comfortable stopping, which is probably a game over, unfortunately, because this game is rough. We'll see how they're doing. I can't see Extreme Zero's live, so I'm gonna expand their screen a little bit to get that on there. Okay, so they're on their last one. Dirk is at 3. They're doing really well. We're doing this on easy. I'm not sure what the difficulties are. I don't know if we ever even figured that out. We never knew what the difference is. Do you start with more lives? It might be just be that. It might just be that. It didn't seem like the game changed much, so it's hard to tell. Less boss health, more time. Well, that's good. There's no reason to not do it on easy, in my opinion, because the bosses being tankier is boring, and we can speed the game up this way. It's definitely the playing method we want. So easy is. I was pretty confident with easy being the choice, unless information came up that made it not right, and that information makes me feel even stronger that easy is correct. Extreme Zero is that the boss. Dark has been trying to get that one set of cubes there, that pair on the right. Okay. It sounds like we might get some help with the Discord bot. I have a couple. I have a new one. If you're a patron or a sub, you can see it. I'm not going to talk about what it is, but it is there. If you're interested in that thing. I'm not going to talk about it here. I might do it later. I don't think I'm opening that to the public either. It's just not moderatable. Not really. Okay, we got oh, Undine. That's right. I remember that boss being name dropped. I just didn't look at what the boss looked like. I have beaten this game myself, but it's been a while. So we're just watching Dirk, and they have 1 life left. And at that point, I'll call it here, I think. They're the last ones. Go ahead and make a task. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see just how fast this game can truly be beaten in with machine help. What is the perfect run of this? physics that ball into some outrageous situation. I want to see. I want to see this game get beaten in like 15 minutes or whatever, man. I think that's task time for sure. You can definitely get under 20 with that. The way this game plays, there's got to be a way to kill his bosses instantly with pure insane luck. And you can make that happen if you're using a machine. Right? RAM values for the ball position. Moonberry killed the boss really fast. It wasn't 1 second, but it was really quick. And yeah, so like somehow you've trapped the ball's hitbox into the boss and just kept hitting it. It doesn't have iframes, it doesn't seem like. I think we're finished. That was a good set of runs. We made it to level 4 and 5 here. Yeah, I do believe that 2351 is the current, so I need to update my score here. I owe Moonberry for winning the other ones still too. I need to get that done, so I really need to get moving on that. I'm ready to give out prizes. I am. I finally got that organized, so I'm going to take care of that this week. No more delaying on that. That was really fun. Thanks for playing, everybody. I'm glad that we found some racers. I wish that that 4th spot was full. If anyone was interested in racing on one of these, we're going to do another one of this game in 2 weeks. Now, you can expect... well, I mean, I don't know how you couldn't, because the world record just got set, but you can expect some really powerful play in 2 weeks. I would, if Moonberry and other runners show up. But even so, all skill levels are welcome. I'd like to have 4. I could do as many as 8 players. And we haven't had a lot of participation for this, even though there's a racing community on this Discord, and they do a bunch of games all the time. I don't feel like there's a lot of crossover yet. I'd like to see some racers, even if they're coming in blind, do some of these to give us some perspective. We had a pretty good showing tonight with the 3 players we had. I'm happy with it. That was a great race and a new world record. Can't complain about any of that. And authorblues is probably going to be sad that they missed it. I'll let them know. Next week we are. What are we doing next week? We are we're gonna watch the current world record, which may very well be what we just watched here. But if that's the case, authorblues will get to see it after all. It seems like there's room to improve, though. I mean, Moonberry is saying already that there was a bad final boss fight. I mean, that was the 3 armored knights guarding the heart. It looked like a really painful boss fight, and it feels like that's just a hard one to deal with. There could be a lot of trouble with something like that. Well, we'll see you next week, folks. 9:15 is a little inaccurate for this. I feel like we're closer to 9:20, 9:30, but it's right after Arcade Pit every week. Anyway, I will see you later. I'll probably be on in the morning and later in the day playing Mountain Blade Bannerlord in the morning, and I'm going to try and get either Skyrim or Nina Williams' Death by Degrees to continue on Monday here. That's the plan. Pushed you over to Doc. He is playing some Kirby Star Allies. See you later.